Hey, welcome to the Hindman Cast, a podcast of the Hindman Settlement School, where we explore the history, culture, and people that make the Hindman Settlement School what it is today, and how this historic institution will continue to serve its mission of celebrating heritage and changing lives in Central Appalachia. I'm Corey Terry.
And I'm Jordan Collins.
And welcome to episode number 6 of the Hindman Cast, and we are in a different site today. We are up in Lexington, Kentucky, here at Brand Advertising Group. One of our board members, Susie Merida, was gracious to let us in here today to have this interview. And we also have a guest host with us today, Mr. Josh Mullins, our Director of Advancement at the Settlement School. Welcome to the podcast, Josh.
I'm very excited to be here.
It's great to have you here.
I've been wanting to do this for 5 episodes, and here we are.
Here we are.
Such enthusiasm.
I am. It's Friday. Or it's Monday when you're hearing this. Or whenever day, but it's Friday right now.
It's Friday right now.
It is Friday right now.
It'll be Monday when you hear this.
Yeah.
The Monday of Christmas week.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it. This is actually going to be my last day of work, and I am quite stoked about that.
Yeah, I took my vacation earlier this week, so I'm technically on vacation.
Oh, I'm sorry I made you work today.
It's fine. I don't mind. This doesn't work.
The Hindman Cast is never work.
This is just pure fun.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, so we got Josh joining with us today, and just to introduce our guest, we have with us today JeanEllen Melton, and she is the NSDAR National Junior Membership Chair and also the Kentucky Society D.A.R. State Organizing Secretary. And welcome to the show, JeanEllen.
Thank you so much. Thanks to all three of you for having me today.
It's great to have you here. Under JeanEllen's leadership of the junior membership of the D.A.R., they have supported the settlement school by giving approximately $50,000 over 2 years, and that provided funds for the Ann Turner Dillon Junior Membership Computer Lab there at our Dyslexia school, and also support for our virtual programming to ensure students with dyslexia continue to have access throughout this pandemic that we find ourselves in. So, JeanEllen, we thank you for your leadership there.
I will say, though, Corey, I would be remiss if I didn't break in and tell you Jamie Birchfield, who preceded me as the National Junior Membership Chair, is responsible for that Ann Turner Dillon Technology Center. So the work that her committee did at the end of the last administration was absolutely phenomenal and made that great facility. But we will take credit for the technology that we did for the summer program, the dyslexia program this year. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us today, and brought you on. We wanted to get some word from a D.A.R. member. We haven't had a D.A.R. on yet, and as anyone probably knows, the D.A.R. is a big supporter of the Hindman Settlement School, and we are very thankful for their support throughout the years since
1921.
1920.
I should back up and say officially since 1921, the National Society has supported us as an approved school, but it does go back to the 1902 beginning.
Yes, our founders, May Stone and Catherine Pettit, were D.A.R. members. I think both of them were, right?
They were. And are you a member of one of their chapters?
I am not.
Okay.
I am not. So one of them belonged
chapter
in Louisville, one of them belonged here in Lexington.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually belonged to a chapter in Frankfurt.
Okay.
So
I wasn't
halfway
sure
in
if you
between.
were in the Lexington chapter where Catherine Pettit was a member of. Yeah. Not long ago, I got to go do a grave marking ceremony with those members, and that was a new experience for me.
It was a neat experience.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, that chapter went in, and obviously Miss Pettit passed away a long time ago, and her gravestone was a little worse for wear, and so they went in and cleaned it up and really paid tribute to her. And it was great to have the folks from Hindman come down to celebrate her as well. Yeah, that was
some unique aspects of D.A.R. membership that I had never been a part of before, but that's definitely. It was nice because I don't think at that time that they really knew many details about Miss Pettit's membership, and Miss Stone, of course, they have widely documented. But it was nice to recognize her as D.A.R. does to make sure the history is preserved.
Yeah, right, not forgotten.
Sure. Not forgotten.
So, JeanEllen, speaking of history, let's get a little bit about your history. Where are you from? Segues. That's what I live for. Yeah. Where are you from? your educational background, those sorts of things. How did you get to where you are today?
The origin story.
The origin
That's
story.
right. I love it. So I'm an Army brat, and when I was about 10, my dad retired and shipped us all back to Western Kentucky, where he grew up. He and my mom had bought a farm that adjoined my grandparents, and so there have been Collies, that's my grandmother's maiden name, in Marshall County going back well over 100 years. And so I grew up on the family farm. Went to Murray State for undergrad. That's the family school. We've currently got the 4th generation and my nephew attending Murray. Then at the end of that, I knew I wanted to do something with education. I have to confess, I tried elementary education. And after my 3rd summer as a summer camp counselor at one of our fish and wildlife camps, I realized that teaching small children every day for 9 months was not in my future. And so I changed my major to political science and ended up interning for the LRC at the very end of college on the education committee, because I was still interested in that, just not actively, hanging out with small people. And while I was there, somebody said, do you have plans? And I was like, nope, no idea what I'm going to do now. And he said, you should go to the Martin School at UK. And so I did my master's in public administration and then never really left Lexington. I spent some time in D.C. working for a nonprofit up there, but met my husband and he had a job here. And so we just sort of settled in.
Awesome.
20 years later, still here.
It's Kentucky. How could you leave?
I
Beautiful,
know, right?
beautiful state.
Why would you want to?
It always calls you back when you go away.
It does. And even as a kid, when we would come to Lexington, I always said, if I stay in Kentucky, I want to live in Lexington. So here I am.
Yeah, it's Lexington or Louisville or Hindman. Just gonna
Or
give a shout out.
Hindman. That's right.
Hindman.
Not Louisville. I lived there for 4 years. It's just a concrete and stores and sadness. That's all it is.
I like
Unless you
Louisville.
live in Louisville, and we love that town.
I love Louisville.
I
You're a pro
love
Louisville.
aspects of Louisville, but I also needed mountains and trees and
It's
Thanks.
nice when you know somebody who's lived there their entire life, because then they can show you all the back streets. My girlfriend, she's from
Yeah.
Louisville.
Ah,
So don't talk too much trash.
or
Corey.
Miss Maystone, a
Miss Maystone.
there we go.
a wonderful Louisvillian. This
This is true. This is
I do.
true.
I love the people in Louisville. We have multiple D.A.R. chapters there. I love visiting with the folks in Louisville.
Yeah.
Not so much the city.
It's probably just my experience there because I was young, poor, married, had a kid, and couldn't do anything because I couldn't afford anything. So it's just
I find that being poor makes things worse all around.
yeah. True. That is true. So, JeanEllen, tell us a little bit about what got you started with the D.A.R. How did all that evolve?
Sure. So that was actually a really fun question for me to ponder on my way here. I was a member of the Children of the American Revolution. My mom put me into that. She was a D.A.R. member. And I think it was about 1993, 1994. Josh, I don't know if you know this. The state president of the Kentucky CAR, Children of the American Revolution, made her state project a book drive for Hindman Settlement School.
I didn't know that.
And so I didn't know anything about the settlement school before that, but it interested me. I like to read. And so we met Mike Mullins, the executive director at the time, and I really got interested in that. And that connection was a big part of what built my interest in CAR, carried me into D.A.R. membership. So I've been a member for, I think it'll be 22 years. Oh, it was 22 years this past April. Spent from probably about 20 years on going to our national conference and just got really interested. That's where you see all the things that D.A.R. does. They talk about the forest and the trees. A D.A.R. chapter is the trees. You get to see the whole forest when you're at our national conference. And that's, where I really developed the love and carried that interest I had in education. That's one of the three foundational components of D.A.R. And so that was a way for me to carry that with me and support education while not being a classroom teacher.
That classroom teacher role was not for me. I whenever you said that, I felt that when I tried, and I said, "Ooh,
Yeah.
I love what happens, and I appreciate."
It is
Teachers.
amazing
Ooh.
work, but ooh,
Lord bless them.
yeah.
Lord bless them. Good.
Bless 'em. So for those who may not know exactly what the D.A.R. is, can you tell us a little bit about what the D.A.R. is and what they do?
Yeah, absolutely. So the D.A.R. is a patriotic service organization for women. To become a member, you do have to prove that you're related to somebody who gave service in some way to the American Revolution. And so some folks think, oh, that means I have to have had a soldier or something like that. It's not the case at all. In lots of cases, it's somebody who signed an oath of support of the colonies. My favorite story is my husband actually has a D.A.R. ancestor in his history, and his grandmother was the keeper of their story. She handed over the family history to me when we got serious. And so, of course, good D.A.R. member that I am, I typed a name into the database. And the name I typed in that I thought was the right age didn't come up. Haven't quite figured out what was going on with that. But then I typed him rather than as an ancestor, just you can search the database for just if a name pops up anywhere. So his mom pops up as a D.A.R. ancestor. And I thought, well, that's interesting. You don't see a lot of women D.A.R. ancestors. Certainly I don't have any. And so I dug a little more, and she gave a gun. She was a widow. She gave a gun to the Albemarle County, Virginia militia. And that counts.
Interesting.
She supported the American Revolution in that way. And so that's how you join. So we have between 185 and 190,000 women worldwide, all contributing to our three objectives: historic preservation, education, and patriotism. And they're doing that all around the country and all around the world.
I should say, maybe tell for those folks that maybe know about D.A.R., and of course you've also told them, but what specifically is a junior member or your committee that you lead?
Absolutely. So the Junior Membership Committee has been around for about 80 years. The D.A.R. itself is a little over 125 years old, coming up on 130 here pretty soon. And about 80-ish years ago, the membership felt that there were younger members who needed to connect with younger members. So we do have a tradition, a reputation perhaps of skewing a little older. And so women who are have not yet turned to 36 are considered junior members. So you have to be 18 to join. So we've got 18 to 36-year-olds who may be the only one in their chapter, or may just have one or two in their area who belong. And so the junior members formed a group together to really develop leadership skills and just support each other and connect with each other. And so that's who the juniors are. We have a little under 15,000 junior members.
Wonderful.
So we're just gonna keep rolling through.
Sure.
So what's one of your most memorable memories with the D.A.R.?
So one of my favorite memories, and I've had the really good opportunity to do this twice, is to participate in the D.A.R. school tour. And that's something that happens in the first fall of every administration. So a D.A.R. national administration is 3 years long. And at the beginning of every administration, state regents and national chairs and, of course, all of our state officers, or our national officers, load up on buses in Washington and take out on a tour across the southeastern United States. And so there are currently 5 D.A.R. schools that we support, and 4 of those 5 are in the southeast. One of them is actually up in Massachusetts, I believe.
Attleboro or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And so they take this bus tour, lasts about a week, and visit all of the schools and meet the folks who are impacted by what's going on there. And so twice, about a year and a half ago, about a year ago, I guess.
Would have been last October. Yeah,
we're in COVID times.
This
y'all.
October didn't
it's
even
all a blur.
Did it
I don't
even
know what
happen?
happened.
Not this. Would have been 2019.
That's right. And then about 10 years ago, again, I had the opportunity to do the schools tour then. And it's just a neat opportunity to really learn about not only the schools and to see, that education piece of what we do firsthand, but you also get to spend more time mostly sitting on a bus just talking and get to know other other DAR members who you wouldn't have met otherwise.
Yeah, there's no better way to get to know somebody than a long car ride.
That's right. That is exactly right.
A week long. That's right.
I bet that's an exhausting week.
It is exhausting. It is exhausting.
How insane. So I think I've had a better glimpse into that. So I've been involved with the bus tours when they come to Hindman. And this year I feel like I was a part of a Facebook group that was created because they snuck some menfolk into the Facebook group, and they were posting pictures and videos of like the songs and just how insane is it all? I mean, is it just this big party all the time?
It's like a big party on wheels. So we have 2 buses,
Yeah.
and so we did get into some song competition between the 2 buses, and we'd sing in video and then post it and wait till the other bus behind us saw it and waited to see what they came back with. It was fun.
Because they were all songs about, was it fish?
So
Sunshine?
the President General has a symbol for her administration, and I am.
I know. I got to show the
Representing.
So the
Rise and shine.
current President General, Denise Van Buren, chose a sun, and Rise and Shine is her motto. But then we also have symbols for the D.A.R. School Committee, which I am remiss I did not put on my School of Sunfish, and the Junior Membership Committee, which is a trio of fireflies. So we're all bringing light in different ways. So yes, the songs were generally whatever we could rewrite or sometimes just this little light of mine, whatever we could get to work into our suns and sunfish theme. It was a lot of fun. It was exhausting. We finished up the tour in Grant, Alabama at Kate Duncan Smith D.A.R. school, and I got the great idea, rather than riding the bus to Atlanta at like 6 a.m. and flying home, I said, I can just drive home. It's not much farther than the drive from Atlanta anyway.
It's just like 4 hours, right? I heard that on the news. I'm just joking. That was a topical news story with John Calipari right now. He thought Atlanta was 4 hours from here.
4 or 6. All the same, right?
Is that by plane?
No, that's a very topical story for that. If you've not read that, just Google that. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, so
It's
it was a long drive back when I'd been gone at that point, I think, for 10 days from home, and I was.
Oh, that's right, because you all prior to that, you go to National Board of Management and spend a week together in D.C. and then leave from that on your week-long bus adventure.
Yeah, the national chairs arrived in D.C. I want to say that Wednesday or Thursday, and then 10 days later, there I was driving home from Grant, Alabama.
Oh, wow.
It was long and tiresome.
I think we've been the past 2. I've been a part of 2 of them now. And I think you all always stop at Hindman the first time. Like your
For
first
the
trip.
last 2 years, we have been the first stop, and
Yes.
I hope we. I mean, I know Heather Green and at Kate Duncan Smith. I know she does a wonderful job. I imagine you're just tired by that point, and so we have a lot of enthusiasm and energy because stop one, and you've just been on the road for a day. Yeah. So I know Heather and Beth down there probably
wonder what the attitude's like at the end of the trip versus.
I know, you just have to be tired.
You know what? Heather was very smart this last time. We finished up the trip with a KDS football game.
Oh, there you go.
And you can't not be excited to be at a high school football game. Mm-hmm. So they're pretty cool. They're the D.A.R. Patriots. Mm-hmm. Kate Duncan Smith is a K-12 school. And so their band marches out on the field in Revolutionary War uniforms.
That's cool.
It was pretty cool. So, but no, you were exactly right. We were so excited for Hindman to be the first school because it was the first one on the trip. So yeah, everybody was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to go.
We were excited. We had so many folks came that day. We had to put a tent up in Earp Field in order to. There was no building on campus that would hold the hundreds and hundreds of ladies and friends that came that day.
Well, and that's a good point. I say 2 buses. There are 2 buses of folks coming from Washington, but other states put together buses. Mm-hmm. So we had a bus from California. Usually there's a bus from Illinois. I don't know if there was one.
Remember
Seems like there's a Virginia bus.
Sometimes there's in Indiana. Sometimes has a bus. I know. I'm probably forgetting another state.
Kentucky brought a bus too.
Yeah, Kentucky
Hindman.
Always. Yeah.
So it picked up ladies across the state because they're excited to welcome all of these folks You know, we in Kentucky D.A.R. we kind of think Hindman is ours.
Yeah. Well,
So
and that's great. We definitely have valued that relationship through the years, and it's wonderful to see because we get to talk. It's part of my work, and Jordan's traveled some with us and been to DC, and Corey someday we'll get him.
I haven't been yet.
At a DAR. He's not been, but
Oh,
we're gonna
Corey.
the next time they gather, we'll have to get Corey, particularly if the state,
Yes.
Kentucky.
I don't know if I can do the DC thing though, because I gotta get like
You
five.
gotta-
I got like one suit. I have to get more suits.
gotta do
You
the-
know,
I'm gonna need a pay raise or something to get
that's
those.
what we can. We'll have to talk to somebody.
Stipend.
Like that.
For
special
some
stipend
suits.
for suits.
But it's you know, we get to travel a lot and talk and meet the ladies that provide the funding to offer many programs. But there's just something special about when you get to come to campus and we get to have you there, and instead of me getting to talk about here's our dyslexia program and how you're making that possible, whenever we're able to organize, you know, a special on that Saturday or Sunday morning when you were there with us, you know, to have a program running that day, so you could actually see the children and tutors on campus doing their program, or get to hear the music that our traditional arts director and those children performed. So it's a great day and a great reminder of the work that's made possible, and that, you know, DAR is a major component in that. I mean, nearly between a third and a half, depending on the year, of our donated funding comes from DAR state societies, members, chapters, and so we always love welcoming DAR members to campus.
Well, and that is something that every chapter supports in some way or another. When a chapter sends in their regular contributions every year, that funding gets split into the part of it, the DAR school committee fund. And so literally every member in some way is contributing to Hindman. And it's really cool when you get to see that. And it's cool for the junior members as well. We have the Helen Pouch Memorial Fund. And so that's not something that every member is necessarily giving to. Junior members fundraise all year, every year, in lots of different ways. And y'all have to forgive me. I don't know if you're watching this. I've got my little future junior member got out of school today and was very excited to come see a podcast live happening for real. And she can't wait to hear it on the air as y'all are listening. So for junior members, for younger members, and we did have some who can do the schools tour, for them to see in real time what it is. You know, why are we fundraising all year? You know, why are we have sales products that we sell? You know, well, gosh, why are we schlepping these all around our state to all these different meetings? And why are we asking people to participate in our 5K or ask for donations to this or that? Well, that's why. When you're on the ground and you see it, the Helen Pouch Memorial Fund for years and years and years did not support all of the DAR schools. They started providing funds to Kate Duncan Smith and to an older DAR approved school back when we started, back 80 some odd years ago. But really in, I guess, the mid 2000s, expanded to support all of our DAR approved schools. And then this year we've expanded again. We made that decision before COVID. Expanded again to support 2 other schools, traditionally Indian schools that the DAR has supported. And so there is nothing like actually being on the ground and actually seeing those children who, I mean, I feel like the dyslexia program really reroutes the way that these children's brains work. And so to sit down with those little ones last October before last, to see them reading, I mean, I felt like watching her learn how to read. You know, that was the feeling, because we are so engaged in supporting the process that to see it actually happen in real life is pretty cool. That's a really long answer to your question about favorite DAR memory, but that was,
You know, we appreciate that. And
Yeah, we enjoy a good long answer. You know,
Those-
there you
people.
go.
Golden answers. I love it.
we know it's like just to kind of circle back to what Corey said at the beginning. And I know I may have fed him some wrong information about, and I should have gave Jamie and her committee credit, the proper credit. But
it's hard
but it's
the
been
way it
2
cycles
years.
that
Yeah,
I get to
because I
take
guess you
credit
transition.
for.
Yeah, you kind of get to take a little credit for other things when you kind of take your chair.
Always come to Josh for such information. So if I ever say anything wrong, it's his fault.
It is always my fault. But just to say, when y'all got to see that last October, when we had students on campus and welcomed this national tour, in March when things transitioned away from in-person, schools closed because of the pandemic, we were all the more grateful that the first year in 2019 that the Helen Pouch Fund provided that Dillon Junior Membership Technology Center, which provided 25 brand new Surface laptops and that we used. We would not have been able to have our virtual summer program, and even this fall have had virtual after-school tutoring because we had desktops. We had Mac desktops that were
Very
20
old.
years old. I mean, like they were, Macs hold up, but they don't hold up forever.
Circa 2005 is what those were.
So I would say Jordan was an intern with us that summer, and so one of the last things I think you did before you went back for your last year of college, you go through every computer and set up all those computers to get them ready for the next year, and so it's I just would be remiss not to say thanks again to Ms. Birchfield and the fund and yourself for and then this year I sent money and the request that we made was we had to have special software in order to tutor remotely. So we use an app and Zoom and different things that we've all become familiar with saying. And we would not have been able to have had, all the 40 children this summer that we had participate remotely and the 70 children since. And we use those same computers as well now for our in-school program that Reading Corps works with. I don't exactly know how we would be tutoring. So it's just great that there was foresight at the time to be like, hey, we should probably get some new laptops because these other ones are getting old because those have been a godsend to Hindman and the dyslexia program. And then the software that we were able to get this year is, thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you
Josh.
for that. But then also to all the members that purchased, stick dollars in the kangaroo pouch when it passes at your chapter meeting, or that buy the Firefly pen, or that, I don't exactly, I'm not as tuned into them, but you also lots of tote bags and,
I tell you
various items.
We have quite the junior sales product lineup, and I have to say the D.A.R. store in Washington, we used to sell just a few items through the store and online, and most of the items we sell in person at state conferences, and learning how to play a guitar, apparently. And so our D.A.R. store staff this year worked hours before our national conference, which we did virtually, to put all of our sales products online. And so now anybody, not just D.A.R. members, can go on to DAR.org, little plug, and shop the store. And so shop those items that then proceeds go into the Helen Pouch Memorial Fund. It's pretty cool. We've also been having a little fun lately with custom ink, designing some cool shirts and things like that folks can go on and buy.
I was inspired. I think it was Abigail Adams shirt or something like that.
Yes.
I'm the social enterprises director now, so I'm always thinking, what kind of products can we sell? It's like,
we've got a great new shirt that we just did a pre-holiday push on of line drawing of the Revolutionary Lady and that good old Abigail Adams, remember the ladies quote.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Perfect.
I think we've got a few other similar things that folks should look for. I love hearing that y'all are inspired by that, because we started this year a virtual 5K, the Firefly 5K, which really has helped us a lot, and we'll be continuing that. We're doing it in the spring this year. But we were inspired by Hindman Settlement School.
Oh, yeah.
You all did a virtual 5K a few years ago.
Race for Reading.
That's right. And I still have my medal from that. And so when we as a committee were talking about, gosh, we're not going to be in person, what are we going to do? I said, and Jamie actually thought, Jamie Birchfield had that suggestion too. She said, what about a 5K? And I looked and saw that medal and said, yes, we can do that.
Yeah, I don't think I was around for that. How does one run a virtual 5K?
You don't.
You don't.
Well, you could.
That's my
You
favorite
might.
kind of 5K.
Some
then.
people do.
I walked. I
Right?
should have brought my medal. If I would have been on campus today, I would have had my Firefly medal that I got. I got in the mail the other
pretty
day,
cute.
a week or two ago. Maybe
It's glittery. It's a
is.
lot of fun.
it is. I saw it. I said, I am
Bling,
going to
bling.
take this to the Knott County Sportsplex and be the coolest, glitteriest
I
guy
love
walking the
it.
track up there right now. So,
Yeah, no, it is absolutely a you're on the honor system. And so you submit your registration and walk it or run it. We had ladies bike it, paddle,
Can you
canoe.
can you drive
kayak.
it?
No.
Huh.
you know,
How are we going to know,
I
George?
should say, I think JeanEllen is only concerned if you pay your registration fee.
We'll
and
send you the
then-
medal either way.
All right, I'll do it for the medal then.
The rest is between you and the Lord.
We got to settle up on something. Anyway.
There we go. So yeah, look for the second annual Firefly 5K in early 2021, and we'll be sure you hear about it, Jordan.
We'll have to get a settlement. I think I'm the only one that did it this fall, but we'll have to do a staff because we all have a little walking group after
Yeah.
work now. So we'll
We
have
do
to
a
get
5K multiple times a week
yeah, we do.
when it's not cold.
Yeah, we'll have to do a 5. Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, we'll have to do a whole.
That'll be fun.
You've sold your first 10.
There
right
we
now,
go. I love
so
it. I
sign
love
us
it.
up.
Liz Cherokee from Pennsylvania is our national vice chair for that. So I'll let her know when I get back that we're already underway.
Sure. I guess we're kind of already talking about it. Maybe there's some more things. What sort of initiatives does the D.A.R. have going on right now, and how can people get involved with it?
Sure. So now is really just in general a great time to join the D.A.R. because we are already planning ahead for America's
I should say
250th
it's the test of
semi-quincentennial.
the sesquintennial. I love it when I hear somebody say it, and I'm like,
had to go to
because
seminary.
Miss
You're like,
Miss
"Yes,
Van
sir."
Buren can say it. She can go
Sesquicentennial.
the
Rattles it.
sesquintennial. I don't know what to
Yeah.
look it up.
150 years. Is that right?
250.
250.
250,
America's
yes.
What's 150?
The semi-centennial.
Whenever I was at the seminary, it was
Yeah.
they did the 150 year anniversary or
Yeah.
something.
But I think that's why they call it America 250, right?
I was just about to say yes. The
Simplified.
name of that is really America 250 because
Yeah.
we can all say that. And so yeah, the 250th anniversary of our founding is coming up in 6 years, I think, about five and a half, 6
Yeah, it
years.
would be 24, I guess, right now.
6.
Yeah.
It definitely.
1776, yeah. Oh, 26, God, sorry. 1774, I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry.
You know, the great thing about the revolution is there were lots of events.
So it took many years.
So we're already in the roll up to that. And so if anybody's interested in joining the D.A.R., absolutely check out the website, dar.org, and you can get connected with a D.A.R. chapter near you. They are, like I said earlier, all over the country and even internationally. And so that's just, it's a good time to get connected. And
They'll
honor
connect
your-
you with a DAR member who will help you get
A
your.
genie. They'll get you up with-
exactly. Yes.
And from my experience, it seems like they're pumped to get you signed up and help you
gosh.
out with that.
You know, when I was getting into SAR, you know, Susie, who office we're in, on our board, I mean, her mother is a fantastic genie.
Melton is very
Miss
good.
Nancy,
That's right.
she is wonderful.
So yeah.
So
and
you're trying to get 250. Is that the campaign? Is it 250,000 members by then?
wouldn't that be amazing?
Is that kind of the?
Where'd you say
That's
you
what
was
we're
at right?
shooting for.
150?
About 190
190.
coming up
Okay.
on that.
So trying to.
So we actually just in DAR welcomed about a year ago our 1 millionth member since our founding, which is pretty amazing in itself. That, you know, when you look around and think, wow, more than 1 million women have proved that connection. And yeah, we're going to see that over the next 6 and even past that years, more and more people connecting. And what's great is when you do that, then like I said earlier, we're a service organization. And so it's that many more graves marked. This weekend is Wreaths Across America. And so there are D.A.R. women across the country putting wreaths on veterans' graves as a part of our partnership with the Wreaths Across America organization. And there are that many more people sticking dollar bills in a kangaroo so that we can give funds to Hindman and to the other schools that the D.A.R. supports. There are that many more people sending Christmas cards to veterans, that many more preserving old houses. And so the work that we do is just expanded by the more members we have. And it's just more fun when you've got more people at a meeting.
I'm continually amazed as I, over the last several years, as I've got to know more D.A.R. members and traveled, how just the breadth of work that D.A.R. does. And it's not, while we always appreciate the financial support, but it's really beyond that. Not even just for us, for the school, D.A.R. members choose to give money, and that's wonderful. But, those that collect box tops, those that do book drives, like when you were a CR member, we have chapters now that do book drives for the school that see what's on our Amazon wish list.
I was going to say, I really like the Amazon wish list
Corey
support.
has benefited from the Amazon wish list for his programs and seeing
Y'all,
people.
that makes it so easy for a chapter. I'm in a small chapter in Frankfort, Kentucky, and a few of us have been to Hindman, but we're never going to, as a group, be able to go to Hindman. And so that's, it's hard to make that connection. But when you can go into a meeting and say, Hindman just added something to the Amazon wish list. What do you all think about us providing that? It gives every woman in that chapter a personal connection to you all and the work you're doing. So I like that Amazon list too.
Yeah.
Every time I see an Amazon box come in that does not have somebody's name on it, it just says Hyman Settlement School. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to open this up. What's in here?
He says that, but it doesn't have a name on it.
And then I'm really disappointed when it's not for me.
I work in the archives on occasion, so they actually send a slide viewer. So I'm able to see those little pictures on this little.
Oh, neat.
Really neat. Yeah, it's like crazy, all the things that we actually kept.
I got some camera equipment on there right now. Trying to expand some things here.
That'd be pretty cool.
Check it out.
Some ideas. But yeah, it's just
For the
amazing.
podcast.
Even more than just, because we even had, I think a group of Kentucky juniors, a group of Kentucky juniors came and did a retreat and volunteered on campus. So there's,
Yeah, I was thinking, was it the juniors that did that?
yeah, I think it was,
Yes,
again,
they
time
planted
is a blur.
flowers
Yeah,
and
time's a blur, but like it was not that long ago in the grand scheme of life, a year ago about this.
I was going to say 5, Josh.
No, it was sooner than that. I feel like it was.
Time is a blur.
I know time is a blur, but for us, but other organizations, it's not just about D.A.R. schools. We always want to encourage the support of Hindman and D.A.R. schools to members, but they do so much with historic preservation and supporting. Whether it's, like I said, not always through money, through time, through expertise and knowledge. So many D.A.R. members are wealth of resources and knowledge of history and volunteer in so many ways.
I saw the other day, D.A.R. members track their volunteer service hours. And we started that when we celebrated our 125th anniversary under Lynn Young. And our current President General posted the other day, I think we are at 7 million hours since she became President General a year and a half ago.
Oh, wow.
And so, that's, you think about all the value of each one of those hours and what we're giving back to the United States and Hindman is really amazing.
Yeah, there's some statistics that I think like a volunteer hour is worth like $117 or some kind of metric that has been decided on. It's the millions of dollars in time that has been contributed to organizations across the country because there's, like Corey said and you said, there's D.A.R. chapters literally everywhere.
Yeah.
There's one that meets on campus, the Troublesome Creek chapter.
Troublesome Creek chapter.
And if there's, we'll plug for that region. If you don't have a chapter somewhere, you can always become an associate member.
That is absolutely right.
Of the Troublesome Creek and have a connection to Hindman that way too.
That's a great idea. Hindman has done such a good job over the years of really finding ways to help D.A.R. members connect. I know a few years ago y'all did the Daffodil Club, and was it Daffodil, Rose, and Iris?
That was my
Iris,
idea.
It was. We have to give Corey credit for that. That was a
you
Corey
should
Terry.
take credit for that.
No, just to be clear, I was not talking about a pen.
Oh.
I was talking about it like a fountain pen sort of thing when I was thinking of this. But then they just took it and ran with it, and I just went with it. So
the development staff know that D.A.R. ladies do like their pens. I
Yeah.
pointed at mine earlier.
that was a long time ago. I wasn't really all that familiar with what was going on there.
We
I
do.
just,
We'll
I just
have-
liked fountain pens at the time, and
Fountain pens are nice.
they are.
we will tease that there's another one coming. We kind of paused, as everybody in the world has some things, but you'll see it soon.
I love it. I love it. Very cool.
Miss Wright down there in Houston does a wonderful job. She does.
She is skilled. She
She is.
certainly is.
What is the relationship like from your perspective of the Hindman Settlement School and the D.A.R.? What are some reasons why you think the D.A.R. supports the Hindman Settlement School?
So Josh mentioned earlier that we've, as a national organization, have been supporting Hindman since, did you say 1921, Josh?
Officially, yeah.
So
But since the beginning, the first, there was
Right.
D.A.R. chapters since 1902.
So when the D.A.R. was in its early years, and the D.A.R. was founded in 1890, and so in the early 1900s, as the settlement school movement was really taking off, there were women, and particularly D.A.R. women, but young single women who wanted to give back, all up and down the Appalachian Mountains and in other parts of the United States, really looking to promote education and the quality of life in those regions. And so one of the things that all of those women needed in order to support their schools that they started was funding.
Mm-hmm.
And so they, as individuals, would go to the organizations that they belonged to and ask for support. And so a lot of women went to the D.A.R. During their national conference. I don't think we have a part of our national conference anymore when people can just stand up and actively campaign for us to give support to a D.A.R. school or any organization. But at that time they did. And so we started, I believe in 1905, supported Berea College down in Georgia. And Berea was our first D.A.R. approved school to support. And I think after that, other women started saying, oh, well, this might be something that would be of value to us. And one of the other D.A.R. schools in their history, they were not founded by a D.A.R. Member. She wasn't a member when they founded the school, but she had a volunteer who had come to spend time volunteering there who was a member. And they share in their history that young woman said, well, have you gone to the D.A.R. to ask for funds? And that founder said that was a turning point for them. And I think that was a turning point for a lot of schools. And at one time we supported dozens of schools.
Yeah. I think there used to be over 50 at some point.
I think you're right, Josh.
As a large number.
It was a very large number. And of course, as Hindman knows, when the public school system was really expanding in the mountains, a lot of those schools just closed. And so what makes the schools that remained really special was they found a way to continue serving through partnerships, through growing and changing the way that they were serving the community and serving children. And so those that stayed committed to that foundation of educating children and young people in their culture, and as you all have, those schools have stayed really special to the D.A.R. And we're really proud to continue supporting that mission.
So we've been talking about your initiatives for fundraising and that sort of thing. How has the coronavirus impacted your fundraising activities this year?
Well, so as I mentioned earlier, most of our fundraising every year comes from sales, and particularly sales products at State Conference and at Continental Congress. And so we were able to, as I said, put all of our inventory online and promote it in that way. It doesn't compare. There is absolutely, and you all who have visited state conferences, I know, Josh, that you make the circuit every year.
I try.
And there's nothing like engaging, actively connecting, looking at members in the eye, and having that opportunity to say, gosh, you really need this tote bag. Or wouldn't this scarf be really pretty with that dress you have on?
Yeah, I've moved quite a few cutting boards in my time. So.
Yeah, Jordan is well familiar. He is our king of cutting boards and poppy pins.
Oh man, yes.
By the way, pick some up on Hindman.org.
Yes. By the way, they are available. We have a surplus from not traveling,
Yes,
as I'm sure you do.
We do. It's tough. And so that absolutely has impacted us. And we've had to think in new and innovative ways. So putting our products online, the Firefly 5K, the custom ink t-shirts, those are great. You don't have to have the inventory on hand or place the order ahead of time. Of course, it's also a shorter window, and every time the window closes, we have somebody say, "Oh, I wanted to order." And
I wished you would have.
Yeah.
So
I cut off ordering for our holiday boxes on Monday, and I'm still getting orders in for things.
oh my God, I should.
You're not going to get it before Christmas.
Right? No, not in these times.
No, definitely not.
I should have asked for a hand delivery order today. That would have been a good idea. But yeah, so we're thinking differently and thinking more creatively, and doing it with the recognition that it's a tight year for everybody.
What I don't know. I should know this. How you raise typically in a year 100,000, more than 100,000 for sure. 200,000, somewhere in that.
Yeah. So the last few years we've given away between 250 and 300,000
Annually. Is that annually?
And this is the D.A.R. as a whole, or
this
junior
is just
membership?
This
her
is from the
committee.
Helen Pouch Memorial Fund. These are the
Okay.
junior members, so they're fundraisers, which is pretty
That's a lot.
amazing
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
think about the women who are actively doing the fundraiser. As you described earlier, when you lived in Louisville, you were young and just married and had a baby and poor. That describes a lot of junior members too.
Yeah.
And so that tells you, we aren't the ones writing those big checks. We're out hoofing it, doing the sales products. We have a National Junior Doll every year. This is kind of cool. A different state does a doll every year to represent somebody from their state. And in the past, Kentucky actually has done the doll once. We did it in 2008. We gave the doll away. And our doll was modeled after Mary DeShay, who is a Lexington native, one of the founders of the D.A.R. And I want to say we raised about $12,000, which we thought was amazing. We sell voices, which to most everybody else means it's kind of like a raffle. But in D.A.R.
I love that. Oh, I can't tell you I love that.
We sell voices. And this past year, I couldn't tell you how much they raised. It was much more than $12,000. But they came up with ways to sell books about the woman that they were representing. The current doll is Sarah Winnemucca. She is a Native American woman from Utah who lived with, we say an English family. I don't quite, a non-native family. And so she learned to speak English. She dressed in the more what we think of as traditional style. And so she became a real voice for her people, for her tribe. And she's got a really cool story. And so they've written a book about her, and anybody can go on and buy the book. And so they're thinking in new and different ways to try to make the fundraising better. And in successful ways. The Firefly 5K was really popular. That's not just a D.A.R. event, as she said. And so thinking of ways to reach out and make up for this, because we do have a pretty heavy commitment that, we know folks rely on us. In addition to the D.A.R. schools, every year we do fund a nonprofit organization. This year our nonprofit is the Fisher House Foundation, which was nice to be able to give them some support. And then we also have a classroom grant program. And so we give 2 $500 grants to classroom teachers in every state in the United States. And I don't know if we've ever given to any in Knott County. That would be an interesting thing to look into.
I know there's several always trying to do like Kickstarter campaigns or GoFundMe things.
Perhaps we have.
To direct them to the
I tell you what,
junior
I need to make sure I pay attention
When
next
that-
time. And
when that application comes out, that window is open in March and April every year. So when that application comes out, I'll be sure and send it y'all's
Yeah.
way. I'm sure you've got some teachers who'd like to apply. And so that's, those are commitments that we've made. And so we've got to meet those commitments. We hope.
I have no doubt.
We hope to meet those commitments.
There's one thing I've learned about D.A.R. members is they get it done. So that's for sure.
Get it done.
It's a lot of fun.
Getting it done for America.
All right. So we are also in the midst of a fundraising campaign right now, our winter appeal at the Hindman Settlement School. Josh, do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Fundraising is an important part of the work. The school has a wealth of supporters and a great endowment fund that our founders set up many years ago that we benefit from. But it does take annual contributions from our friends and from corporate sponsors to fund the work and the mission of the school. So every year, one of our biggest efforts is our holiday fundraising campaign that we usually send out right after Thanksgiving and encourage folks to make an annual gift to us to support us through unrestricted dollars, whatever need is greatest, or to fund a particular program. If you can definitely choose to make donations for our expanded dyslexia program. Jordan works every day tirelessly with the rest of our dyslexia team to
No rest.
Jordan never rests.
Except for today because I'm on vacation.
He was on vacation, so he does
Time
rest.
to wake up today.
One.
That's why he didn't have lunch with us at Chick-fil-A. So, but that teamwork, Jordan and that team work hard. And so you can choose to support specific projects, or, Corey has responsibilities with our farm and our foodways programs. And so people can choose to support specific projects, writer scholarships.
Hog Wild and Hyman.
Yeah, you can get a button, a Hog Wild button, As I say it now, I sounded real country, I feel like. Hog Wild. Hog Wild. Sorry, woo, that was good.
That's the follow-up to the having a chicken in Hindman,
Yeah,
right?
so yeah, we definitely, so being inspired by that, we were inspired by D.A.R. in that instance to do our I Have a Chicken in Hindman. So we'll have to figure out if we have another button. But
What kind of animal should I get now for the next button?
I don't know.
A cow.
That's what I've been saying. We've been talking about making some ice cream on campus.
I know,
Selling it
right?
and stuff.
I've been really, if you're a Kentucky person, you probably have heard of Crank and Boom. So I really was hoping to get to Crank and Boom today, but
They've got the new one right over just the other end of Reynolds Road, over on Clay's Mill.
Oh gosh. Okay, well,
Know what we're doing after this.
Crank and
Stop
Boom.
on the way by.
Yeah, so sorry, this podcast brought to you by Crank and Boom. Please go online and get your blackberries and buttermilk ice cream today, because that's my. But gosh, wow, we really need to reach out to them for sponsorship after this.
Yes.
Anyway, so we are raising money. Our holiday appeal typically raises around $100,000 to $125,000 annually. And so it's an important fundraiser for us. And we know this is, this year is specifically hard. General giving, is down for the across many nonprofits, just because funds are tight for everyone. Corporate sponsorships are a little tighter as well, because business has unfortunately suffered from impacts of the coronavirus as well. So annual giving is as important as it has ever been, if not more so. And so, if you received a letter from us, I hope that you take a moment to read through it and see the work that our staff, through dyslexia expansions, through raising more food on our farm to make sure our community has access to fresh and nutritious foods, to the work about ensuring that children have access to the arts for our after-school music programs and our virtual classroom visits that we've done. I think the staff this year has worked tremendously hard to innovate and find new ways of delivering and serving our mission. And so we would just be honored to have that support and continued partnership. And whether it's given directly to Hindman, or whether it's, you can always choose, if you're a D.A.R. member, to support a project through the junior membership, because those funds do, or you can send, to the National Society. You can earmark funds so that way your chapter receives credit, and you can count that on master questionnaires and so forth. I'm getting real D.A.R. lingo-y here, but
Sure is. I'm impressed.
I have learned over time. So, but there are ways, that way you can receive those benefits. But then also, you can choose to support Hindman directly as well. And we welcome that too. But we are just so grateful for D.A.R. members and all of the other individuals who choose to support us. And now at the end of the year is the time to consider that again. So thanks for letting me do a plug, Corey.
Thanks for coming on, because I could not have done that.
I've had a little more
successfully.
I've had a little more practice with the fundraising.
Yes.
Once he's dragged you to.
I could not have grown the cucumbers for the pickles and made the fruitcake.
We all have our specializations.
I don't know what mine is
Mine's
yet.
not fundraising.
We'll find it though.
Did you just say there are pickles in the fruitcake?
No, okay. Did I say that? No,
There's pickles and there's a fruitcake.
there's pickles
But they're
and a
not together.
fruitcake.
Maybe I heard and as in.
I hope I didn't.
But if you're looking for a sweet and savory treat,
coming,
this is a fruitcake I've never heard of before.
coming next year.
Coming next year, because I am out of fruitcake.
Yeah,
I do, however, have more pickles. So
We have lots of tadpole holler pickles.
Go to our store.
That's Jordan's specialty. He makes one of the many
I'm
things.
trying to make pickles.
Well, I mean, our labels.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's like,
labels.
we're not talking about your pickles in a random jar.
Yeah, but
No.
maybe
Maybe
that could be the next big thing. Who knows?
So not to change the subject too much, but Jordan sent us a picture in a group text of him. He's making his own pickles now.
I love it.
Why were they yellow?
I was like, are you pickling those in chicken broth? Like, I don't know what's happening.
No, it's a chicken broth jar.
Okay. Was it? Okay.
I looked it up, quick pickling online. We'll see if it works. Today they're supposed to be done. We'll see.
You know, like a bread and butter pickle is a little bit more yellow than a. Than a
mean,
dill.
These look
We'll
like
see.
they were just a yellow pickle, though. Like,
Okay, my pickles are not on the stand here. I'm not going to defend them.
were they like overripe or something?
No, they were the cucumbers that we got at the settlement school.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
I figured-
explains some things.
That explains it. We had some. Yeah, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see how they come out. We'll definitely clue you in.
COVID food box
when he-
cucumbers.
Yeah, those are the farmers'
survival.
families. Food box.
Well, you said that Jordan makes the labels. Just a suggestion: if you put like a little firefly flashing on the label,
Like a steel trap. It's up there.
I mean, it's like one of those things. It's like, we need a firefly product, don't we? I mean, we need to have firefly.
I know a junior or two who would be excited about that.
Do juniors like kombucha? How do you feel about it?
I tried some for the first time.
We're talking about things all the way up
We're
here.
pretty young and hip. We might go for some kombucha.
I like kombucha.
We were
It's not
talking
that
about this on
bad.
the way up. I was the anti-kombucha guy. Are you pro or anti-kombucha?
Personally,
I'm not asking you to speak on behalf of D.A.R. members.
personally, I may not be in support of it, but I bet that we have some juniors who are.
Got to be on the more
If
crunchy
you put a
side of
firefly on
things.
the label.
You do.
We have a lot of cloth diapering junior members.
Firefly kombucha.
No.
Cloth diapering with fireflies on them. That's how I know.
There you
So,
go. Well,
we're
that tells you.
really
I do think that is the market.
I'm just going to start putting fireflies on everything.
There you go.
Don't forget.
Maybe even like hidden ones, just as
Yeah,
a
you
secret.
find it. Find the hidden firefly.
Firefly fruitcake.
Those are already on the label, right?
What? Oh yeah,
The
keep
hidden
looking for.
firefly.
Yeah, you just gotta
They're there.
buy one and find out where they are.
There you go.
We'll start drawing them on. All right. Well, JeanEllen, we appreciate you so much coming on today. How can people keep in touch with you? Is there any social media, websites, any way we can keep up with the work you're doing?
Absolutely. So we do have a public Facebook page, Junior Membership D.A.R. Could be D.A.R. Junior Membership. One is our private group and one is our public page that we do include all of our information, and that is where we'll have the classroom grant application in the spring. You can find that. We also just launched this year an Instagram account, so I encourage you to check that out. Junior Membership and SDAR, I believe, on that one. And we have really, it's new, not a whole lot on it yet, but every Friday we do celebrate a Friday Firefly and recognize the outstanding junior members from across the, I should have talked about our OJs. Every year we recognize outstanding young women in every state. And so it's been kind of fun to get to spotlight each of them on the Instagram account with our little Friday Firefly. And check us out there. We're hoping to increase that traction a little bit in the new year.
On the gram.
We will get Jordan to share that out at some time when he's not on vacation. he will share it out, and so that way people can see that too.
but not today.
But not today because he's on vacation.
That's right. And if there are possibly D.A.R. ladies listening to this who want to get more connected with the juniors, we do have the private junior Facebook group. So they can look for us there and join in. We do a lot of fun activities every Friday. Not every other Friday is a junior movie night. So it is about as low tech as you can imagine. We all press play at the same time. And then we chat with each other about what we've watched that week. So it's kind of fun.
Just throw out a suggestion. You could do like a viewing party of the Hindman cast, episode 6.
Yeah.
I love it. I will recommend that. We'll kick off the new year with that one.
Yeah, I forgot to mention earlier that this is actually our second attempt of having this interview.
True.
We came up here a couple of weeks ago, and miraculously the power went out. And just
in this
all over
building.
Lexington. No. I said no.
Just in this building for the hour that we were here. We left, and like 5 minutes later, Susie texted us and said the power was back on.
Okay.
But that was the only time that JeanEllen had to do it that day. So we came back, and I appreciate you coming back.
I'm so glad you did.
Coming back on and making sure we get this done, because we definitely wanted to have you on before the new year came out. So.
And be sure to, I know you will, but just thank all those members in that private group for all their support.
I sure will.
And let them know that Hindman is doing well because of them. So
I will. I love connecting with our schools because it gives me the opportunity to go back to them and say it's worth it. It's everything we're doing has value and is important to people. So that's what I'll be doing today.
Well, thank you.
Great. Thank you again for coming on.
Sorry, this just really attacked me at that moment. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they'll break a
Happy
jaw.
New Year, y'all. Have a good one.
Well, thank you.
And with that, JeanEllen has left our little temporary studio here at Brand Advertising Group here in Lexington, Kentucky.
You're welcome for the plug, Susie.
Welcome for the plug, Susie Merida. This episode is brought to you by Brand Advertising Group, and they can set you up with all your advertising and marketing needs. And
also Starbucks, if you've noticed our cups.
they have a sweet espresso machine.
Someone please sponsor us.
Someone please give us a sponsor. Brand Advertising Group, we thank you very much for letting us record this awesome episode of JeanEllen today here in their conference room. Great episode of JeanEllen. We're very thankful for her coming on. Glad the power didn't go off this time. I woke up today just waiting on something to happen.
Corey, don't wait for bad things to happen.
I knew I had forgotten something or something was going to go wrong.
You just got to embrace the good.
Yeah, positive minds. I mean, I had real positive vibes last time, and it just reality just shut me down, and there's nothing I could do about it.
See, if you were truly positive, you would have brought a generator.
If I had $500, I would have, because I went and researched after that happened. It's like, can I get me a battery-powered generator here to pack around with my podcast stuff?
We need to put that on our wish list.
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty steep, pretty expensive things, though. Try it.
They're worth it when you get them. I used to have one in Leslie County, and it did the job.
Yeah.
It's better than being cold, I'll tell you that much.
I mean, we could do a gas-powered generator, though.
Yeah.
We
Just
need
run
battery-powered.
Just run it inside the building. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
The fumes will make the episode funnier.
Yeah, and we'll get a little crazier as it goes on, and then eventually just pass out.
Yeah, it'd be great. And then it'll never air, but that's fine.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, so again, we thank JeanEllen for coming on today, and hope you all enjoy this episode with her. And as always, we want to give you a little time of announcements of activities going on at the Settlement School. And considering that when this episode airs, it'll be the week of Christmas. And we will be off work for Christmas break. And so there's nothing going on the next 2 weeks or so. And this will actually be our last podcast episode for the year 2020. And we hope 2021 will be a much better year in terms of global things happening in the world.
Let's hope. Let's hope that we don't even remember what coronavirus is come July. That'd be great.
True.
That'd be great.
I think all the time, like when my kids get my age or something, they're like, are they going to remember this?
I think so.
I think so too, because the word coronavirus has been said 1,000 million times.
And everyone walking around with masks on their face.
Yeah, this has got to be a weird time. I don't know what it's like from the perspective of an 8-year-old.
I thought about that the other day, Like, kids get all that like the facial stuff from parents and stuff, and it's just no one has their face out. So how's they learning those social skills? It just, I don't know. I just thought about that.
Weird times that effects we will probably be feeling for years and years to come. So anyway, there's nothing really going on, but we hope that you all have a very, very Merry Christmas. I know I'm very much looking forward to Christmas, and I already know a lot of my gifts because, not that I was trying to peek, but my wife's not very good at hiding things. And
that's a quality you want, though, ain't it?
And I just happened to find boxes occasionally that had a word on it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I know what that is. So yeah, it's gonna be a good Christmas, I hope.
Or a Kwanzaa, or a Hanukkah, or whatever holiday you celebrate.
For sure. I do want to give a shout out to everyone who has purchased a holiday gift box from us the past 2 months or so, or one of our Frogtown fruitcakes, or various items from our craft shop. It has been a very, very successful season of holiday boxes and those sorts of things for us. I have nearly worked myself to death trying to get all those boxes shipped out and packed, and
running on 4 hours of sleep, right?
Yeah, I was actually up till 4 o'clock this morning, finishing up the last few that were there because I knew they had to go out today or they had absolutely no chance of getting anywhere by Christmas. So, and I knew I wasn't going to be there today because I was going to be here. So
it's a hard job. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, but all the boxes are out now, and hope they get there by December 25th. But again, thank everybody for ordering those and supporting the Hindman Settlement School through our holiday box sales and craft shop. It was a good success for us. And we also, as always, want to recognize some donors who has come in strong for us the past couple of weeks or so. We want to recognize Patrick and Alicia Conley of Hindman, Kentucky. I'm pretty sure they're from Hindman. I actually think my wife took pictures of them recently for their Christmas cards. And we also want to recognize Nana Lampton and also the Berea College Appalachian Fund, who awarded us a $38,000 grant to go to our dyslexia program. So we thank you all. And as always, as we have many, many times today, we thank the Daughters of the American Revolution for their continued and faithful support to the Hindman Settlement School since 21 is what we said.
21.
Yeah.
But our founding in 1902. Too.
Founding in 1902. Yeah, we thank the D.A.R. We love the D.A.R. and we appreciate your support. So we wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we will see you again in 2021. Working on lining up some episodes for us in talks with Carla Grover right now about getting her on the pod. Got some other ideas going. So look forward to 2021. Hindman Cast will continue
to usher in the new year.
All right, I'm going to stop talking now. I'm running on very little sleep and probably just rambling and not making sense. So, Merry Christmas, and my name is Corey Terry.
And I'm Jordan Collins.
And we'll see you next year.
The Hindman Cast is brought to you by the faithful and generous supporters of the Hindman Settlement School. For over 100 years, we've been celebrating heritage and changing lives in Central Appalachia. If you're interested in supporting the work of Hindman Settlement School, you can go to our website at www.hindman.org, or you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the handle @HindmanSchool.